Nityanandam Manitya Shivarupananda from the Bididiyadinam Paramahamsa Nityananda's beautiful campus here in Bangalore, Karnataka. So as I was doing Pada Puja right now, you know, our morning routine includes yoga followed by a bath with the sacred water from the Nityananda Lingam here, which is a Navapashna Linga, followed by Pada Puja. And then we go into satsang and the other parts of our day. So during Pada Puja, all the greatest clicks are revealed, all the higher cognitions, the higher experiences open up. Swamiji talks about the opening up of the non-mechanical parts of the brain. So I can literally experience it, how during Pada Puja, all these subtle clicks start to happen. Anyway, today was a very fascinating click. It was about Guru, how Guru is the ultimate mutant and mutator. How the process of transformation that he puts us through to realize our ultimate divinity is a conscious process of mutation, of mutating people, of when we are stuck with some sort of cognitions, changing that to the ultimate cognition, to the ultimate realization of the universe. Now, naturally what happens in life is this kind of mutation happens accidentally, or it happens in an unconscious way. For example, let's say the whole world is just filled with water, and now you're an animal, you're a being that swims and can only breathe in water. Now suddenly land starts to open up. Then it is that situation that creates the possibility for some parts, some beings that live in water to go and start living on land. That first being that goes on to land and struggles to breathe but suddenly makes that possibility happen. That is mutation. That is an avatar happening. That is the first superhuman for the super being for the being that is now in water. And really that is what Guru does. I can see how Swamiji again and again puts us into this situation where we are forced to recognize things. We cannot be in status quo. Anyone who's experienced Swamiji or even a Guru, you will see living in status quo, living in your beliefs, living in your understandings is not an option. Again and again and again, you are taken to this really beautiful spot where a point of making decision opens up to you. And that is really what mutation is, isn't it? When without any limits, with infinite possibility in front of you, a being is given the option of what do you want to do next. Just like that fish that walked on land, crawled on land and suddenly started to breathe. Just like that, again and again, this beautiful process of a Guru-disciple relationship is how the Guru takes you to these beyond your logic, beyond your understanding, this open terrain where now you need to recognize, you need to make another decision about life as you believe it. And now this becomes what you start to believe. This becomes actually programmed into your muscle memory. This now becomes the new cognition that you start to function from. This becomes kind of the pre-programming written in you, such that when you wake up in the morning, before you even decide how it is you want to cognize life, this becomes the default way of cognizing life. So it was very beautiful how this click happened, that literally what Swamiji is doing to us, what the rishis did, what all the gurus do, is lead us into a process of conscious mutation. They consciously give us the opportunity to mutate ourselves rather than unconsciously wait for the right opportunity to happen. Actually, in the modern world, it's even worse. At least in other situations, it could be that the possibility of mutation towards a higher consciousness, towards a higher experience existed. But today, it is so bad out there. The world around us is so full of the wrong cognitions that for that possibility to open up where we can recognize to a higher truth, recognize to a higher identity for ourselves, doesn't open up at all. That is when I think they say bhubhara, the weight of the earth, the weight of the manifest plane gets so much that you collapse on yourself. They say that Krishna came to reduce the bhubhara on planet Earth because the cunningness, the collective negativity of the forces led by Duryodhana, or I should say who are epitomized in Duryodhana, got too much for the world to bear. And if it turned out that they were led to proliferate on planet Earth, what would happen is the whole of humanity, the whole of life would collapse. That is when an incarnation happens to save humanity. That is when an incarnation happens to consciously mutate us so that now we go along another path. Similarly, in today's world, what's happening? There's so much collective negativity, there's so much influence on from media and technology. It's actually a much worse situation than in Krishna's time, because it's not just about the wrong cognitions that are happening, it is about them being hugely amplified to unconscious society, to an unconscious civilization through technology. Which is why you'll see that Swamiji uses technology in such an amazing way to bring about the positive breakthrough. Anyway, so the bhubhara in today's world, in Kali Yuga, is too much, which if we don't do something about it, the collective negativity is going to bring humanity to its knees. The collective negativity is just going to have us shut off our possibilities, have us regress rather than progress to higher cognitions, rather than progress to our ultimate identity as a divine being. It is going to have us regress. Before you know it, we will be stones, right? So, or worse still, we could do ourselves untold harm by, with our nuclear weapons and our infighting. So that is why an avatar happens. The avatar, Paramahamsa Nityananda, has happened to bring us out of this bhubhara in a very volatile situation, and a situation that very quickly can escalate. He is here to create a conscious breakthrough for us. He not only is creating a mutation in each one of his disciples, and you can clearly see how beautifully he takes us, whether it is that deep love and which helps us have that higher cognition to mutate, or it is that ferocity that brings about the opportunity for us to mutate, or even if it's herbs, now he's revealing the science of Aushadha that allows the mutation to happen. Recently he talked about fire walking. So these practices, these abhyasas, which allow this kind of mutation to happen to higher cognitions, Swamiji is opening up every which way, not only to lead his disciples to mutate to our understanding of us as divine beings, us as the Ishwaras of everything around us, but also all of humanity. Humanity is on the brink of moving from human, I should say subhuman, because that's where we are right now. I should say we are not even human, we are actually just it's dead matter, right? It's patterns of greed and fear. We cannot be human if there's no choice involved. You know, when this situation, you get angry, then that is not humanity at all. That is actually a program, a simple program that lives itself out again and again, depending on certain conditions. And unfortunately, that is what humanity is right now. So Paramahamsa Nityananda is here to move us out of those cognitions. Take all these cognitions that have settled in us as muscle memory, that have settled around us as common beliefs, that have become our way of living. If you look, Swamiji will say, in the past, the rishis would create charya, lifestyle, or all these, whether it's puja, all these lifestyle practices to take us to higher consciousness. It's now almost like in the modern day, all our lifestyle practices take us deeper and deeper into unconscious, take us deeper and deeper into a lower cognition. So Paramahamsa Nityananda is here to lead us out of that with infinite compassion, using every which way to transform us, sometimes transforming us when even we are not ready to transform or understand. With ultimate compassion, sometimes revealing it to us as truths, sitting, for endless hours in satsangs, revealing the same thing to us in every which way, or opening up these new sciences, whether it's the science of Aushadha, whether it is the science of mandalas, whether it's the science of kriyas, yoga, revealing it all, taking it back to the pristine purity with which they were first revealed by Adi Yogi Shiva. Because even the sciences have had that bhubara happen on them. Even the sciences have gotten too contaminated. So just as he is reviving the human consciousness, mutating us back to our original pristine consciousness, so he is doing that to all the sciences around. So on this fascinating journey, I will have more and more to share. If you have any questions, please do come. Do reach out to me, let me know. Do not miss the opportunity on the 26th and 27th to participate in the program Kalpataru, the glimpses of Mahasadashivoham. As I told you, this is when Swamiji will be revealing a whole new science, the science of Aushadha, which is the science of medicine, the science of herbs and food, such that higher consciousness can be awakened in you. So do come, experience it. Lovely talking to you. Look forward to hearing from each one of you. Nityananda.